Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Words from inside the Labour Party are that they don't really take the rise of Corbyn's new hard left party as a serious threat. They're saying that even within the socialist movement, Corbyn is seen as extreme left and that he is, as they know, effectively unvotable. You know, he's unelectable. He'll get votes, of course, but this is what they're saying is he won't get any seats. And I think that is actually something that the Labour Party are perhaps missing the point on. Jeremy Corbyn got as many votes as Keir Starmer. Just by a curious coincidence, Starmer got a massive majority and Corbyn was humiliated. He also has a lot of people within the Labour Party who share his hard left views. Now, I'm not sure how many would be willing to jump ship and go with Corbyn. And I'm not sure how many Labour voters would be willing to jump ship and go with Corbyn. But I think there's probably enough of them that the Labour Party really ought to be worried. Because a split for the left, which is virtually unheard of, would open the door for a vast, massive right-wing majority at the next election. Predominantly, I think, Reform, but probably having to go into coalition with the Tories. I think it needs to be a loose coalition rather than anything formal. And I think you've got to make sure that there's no wets or, sort of pinko Tories anywhere in power, regardless of whatever arrangements come to. It's got to be hard right Tories. The people of this country are vaguely right wing, right? Not hard right, no, but they're small c conservative, family values, look after your own, work hard, that kind of thing. Traditional Tory values, even though it may not be writ large and it may be what they used to call shy Toryism. But, that's how people are. The Tories moving left haven't really improved their chances. But this split, represented by Corbyn, of course, does. It is a chance, if you will. And it is something that the current Labour government would be very, very foolish to ignore. The threat of Corbyn is not just the loss of a few voters. If they get down below the 14%, it's electoral wipeout. And that, of course, would be good news for everyone. Get rid of the socialists. It's not 1900s anymore. We're in a modern world where work is not what it used to be. We don't have the hard, heavy industry that unions used to represent. Now it's a service-based industry, much smaller, etc. The trouble with the unions is they're dinosaurs. The trouble with socialism is that it was a political policy or a political ideal based really from the 1920s and 1930s. Its time has come and gone. People need to realise that socialism is destructive. Unfortunately, there's some that are a bit too dumb and don't realise that. Usually a lot of middle class who, because of their wealth, tend to be protected from the harsh realities of socialism. But those of us who remember Jeremy Corbyn's time as Labour leader will know how awful it was, the anti-Semitism, the hate, women being afraid to speak out. He really is the epitome of evil socialism. And so, yes, I'm glad he's forming his own party. I'm glad he's taking idiots like Sultana with him. If he can take a few more idiots, all the better. But weaken the Labour Party, weaken the socialist vote, and allow Britain a chance to recover. Of course, the only problem is by the time that happens, it's probably terminal. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks very much. Bye.